FanDuel released some point spreads that Tony made us aware of. Appreciate that. So the two that I found, Tony, was the big non-conference matchup against Oregon, and then the game at the end of the whole deal. I don't know if you saw any other Ohio State lines released.
Yeah, I think they released 4 of them. The one that Kevin is excited about is Ohio State is a 10-point road favorite at Michigan, which seems a little bit low. And then they are a 9-point favorite over Oregon, 11-point favorites at Indiana, and 11.5-point favorites at home against Penn State. I don't know if I'm comfortable touching either the Oregon or the Indiana games. I like that Penn State game. I think I love the 10 points of the Michigan game. That seems, I don't want to say free money, but it sure doesn't seem like it's going to cost too much.
Well, the last 2 times they played Michigan, they beat them by 25 and 29 points, I believe, if my math's correct. So, or 29 and yeah, whatever it is. It was 63-38, wasn't it? And then
62-39.
62-39. Okay, that's 23 points, and then 56-27 was 29 points. So, it would seem, if all things are equal and things continue the way they are, that Ohio State will maintain its dominance even on the road against Michigan. But, stranger things have happened. And, of those 4, that's probably the one I like the best, because I think quality of the football at Penn State, Indiana, and Oregon is much better than it is at Michigan right now. And so, I guess we'll have to wait and see. They made the Ohio State-Oregon game a noon game on Fox, and it's kind of unclear. We all know a little bit about this television contract that Fox has the first pick, and they always seem to take the Ohio State-Michigan weekend as their first pick. And in this instance, it's unclear whether they get the second pick as well, or whether ABC and ESPN got the second pick, because, days after Fox announced Oregon and Ohio State were at noon, Fox and ESPN came out and said that Washington and Michigan are going to play at the same day at 7 p.m., which makes so much more sense with a team from the West Coast, and that game would be played at 4 o'clock Pacific time, whereas this Ohio State-Oregon game is going to be played at 9 a.m. Pacific time and 12 o'clock noon in Columbus, which, if it's Toledo or Akron or, Tulane or somebody like that, that's fine. But for a big game at noon, not feeling it. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that. But I wonder if ABC actually had the first pick and took that other game. But even then, that doesn't make much sense either. So maybe Fox had the first pick that weekend as well.
Well, I think they're picking weeks, and it's not an AB. It's there are a lot of little nuances to the deal. Talking to somebody I know still in the industry of how it's set up, and honestly, I think that what would happen is Ohio State, Penn State would probably be the pick that ESPN and ABC would want to go after. So it's certainly going to, it's going to create a lot of ripples with how everything is set up. But Ohio State doesn't have Don Brown to kick around anymore. He's at Del Boca Vista, Arizona, or wherever the hell he is now. So, this is going to be the year, right? This is going to be the year. I mean, they've already gone through. They already see Maurice Linguist show up and then leave. Who knows who might be coaching by that point or whatever. But as we talked about earlier in the show, that Aiden Hutchinson and Dax Hill are really about it. 10 points seems seriously low for me. I mean, Michigan did not play Ohio State last year. I'm sure that there were not holiday cards exchanged between the Harbaughs in the day, a stale fruitcake or a Christmas ham sent or anything there. I'm sure that Ryan Day would love nothing more than to vanquish Michigan. So I don't see any way that this game is going to be even close to in question. I mean, 10 points is maybe a first quarter line, okay, but for the entire game, I may have to sign up for this FanDuel Sports that you speak of, because I think that's just a printing press right there.
Well, and as I said on my podcast, I can't believe FanDuel thinks Michigan's going to score 90 points in this game.
Yeah, the secondary's not that bad.
No, exactly. But
I-
Cade McNamara, September Heisman.
Scored a lot of points against Rutgers. I know he did.
Not everybody can do that.
The thing I trust about this 10-point spread going Ohio State's way, also considering new quarterback, other positions need to be figured out, just like any other college football season. But of course, everybody's hyper-focused on the quarterback, and it's understandable. No experience there for the first time in forever. Basically no experience. But I very much trust Ryan Day and his staff's ability. You know, we're not talking about a week 1 matchup. We're talking about this is going to be whomever wins this quarterback job, unless he falters, gets replaced in game 4 or whatever. Basically, he's going to have 11 games under his belt. He's not going to be a rookie anymore. He's going to be, and most likely, you know, Tony at some point a few weeks ago kind of outlined, okay, this is what we can expect the Ohio State quarterback. Fill in your quarterback. I don't know what the name's going to be, but this is what his stat line most likely is going to look like. And so I very much trust this coaching staff and Ryan Day's ability to make this a much better team the last week of November than it was the first week of September. Then Jim Harbaugh and his staff is going to make that team. It might be worse in November than it was in September after they receive that coaching for a few months. So that's what I also trust in.
I'm with you on the earlier might be better for Michigan, which is why I was a little surprised that Michigan is a 2.5-point underdog at home to Washington in week 2. Week 1 and 2 is like when Michigan is at their absolute best. And so that might be one to jump on Michigan for getting that 2.5 points, because the week after, probably you might just want to start avoiding Michigan at that point.
Yeah, this is going to be 17 probably by the time we get to that week, is my opinion. But I guess we'll see. If you can get it at 10 now, take it.
Yeah, Kevin, your comment in the private chat there with JTC. I assume I can spit these numbers out. I like your stat line for CJ Stroud there with 28 for 35, 315, 5 TDs. He's going to throw a pick maybe with about a buck and change left. That doesn't matter.
A huck and chuck at the end of the half or something like that.
Yeah.
As
Mary.
Ryan Day is trying to sit there and prove a point, I could see that. But yeah, I don't see a situation of where whoever the quarterback is, and I believe it would be Stroud, is going to be throwing a lot of highly contested 50-50 balls, back shoulder, whatever. I've seen this show before, and it's generally Ohio State players running wide open. So that interception is just I maybe my insurance just to not come across like that I'm being just completely scarlet colored glasses.
He throws the pick, but they still lead 28-10 at halftime, and let's go down to Holly Grow. You know, she's got Ryan Day. Ryan, most everything went your way there. What do you see?
Reminds me of a conversation I had a few days ago from some viewer or caller who was pushing back on me in regards to predicting a lofty set of numbers like that for Bryce Young against Miami in the opener. Well, Bryce Young hasn't played. He hasn't proven anything. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Have you been watching Alabama football for the last 13 years? This guy's a 5-star. He's got talent all around him. He's facing Miami. He's being prepped as the starter throughout the entire offseason. Yeah, he's going to put up something like Kevin just noted, CJ Stroud against Michigan. Yeah, I have full confidence in that.
The groundwork, the history is there. It's a factory, and so the car that left the assembly line is going to look just like the car that's come right back up the assembly line now. It's all the same, and with that production and the receivers that keep coming, yeah, it's not hard to kind of make projections as Kevin did with CJ Stroud. And if Kevin can do it,
And they've
Yeah.
got 3 guys. I was waiting for a response there. I didn't get it. But
Yeah, no.
Anybody can.
and the point that they've got 3 guys, you know, that's why you recruit all the 5 stars and the high 4 stars. You got 3 guys, so it's not all on one guy. If one of them falters, the likelihood that all 3 falter and are no good this season is minuscule
Yeah.
beyond belief.
That's a good way to put it. You know, 2 guys that's highly recruited and highly ranked is Stroud and McCabe, and you know, or McCord rather, and Miller, you know, might have been up there as well if, you know, he had missed some time in high school, you know, with his injuries or whatever. So, yeah, you know, you've got 3 really good talents and plenty of depth at that critical position. It's just, you know, learning those guys up and growing them up now and getting them ready to go play.
Yes.
Good question. No, they haven't. No.